John chapter 8. Yeshua went to the Mount of Olives. In the morning he returned to the temple, and virtually everyone came to him and sat down, and he taught them. The Torah teachers and Pharisees brought a woman to him who was caught committing adultery, and they made her stand in among them. And they told him, "Master, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. In the Torah of Moses, Jehovah has commanded us to stone such people. But what do you say?" They asked this to test, trap him, in order to have legal grounds to accuse him. But Yeshua stooped down and began writing, names on the ground with his finger. They continued asking him until he stood up and said, "The person among you who hasn't sinned should be the first to throw a stone at her." He stooped down again and wrote on the ground. Then they heard about it and passed by one, beginning with the oldest, until he was all alone with the woman standing there. When Yeshua stood back up, he asked the woman, "Where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, Master." Yeshua replied, "I don't condemn you either. So go, and from now on don't sin anymore." Once more Yeshua conversed with them. "I am the light of the world. Anyone who comes to me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." The Pharisees told him, "You are giving testimony about yourself, so your testimony is invalid." Yeshua told them, "Even though I am giving testimony about myself, my testimony is true because I know where I came from and where I am going. But you don't know where I came from or where I am going. You are judging by human standards, but I am not judging anyone. But if I were to judge, my judgment would be valid because I am not alone. There's me and my Father who sent me. It is written in your own Torah that the testimony of two people is valid. I am testifying about myself, and my Father who sent me also testifies about me." They asked him, "Where is your Father?" Yeshua replied, "You don't know me or my Father. If you knew me, you would also know my Father." This is what Yeshua explained in the treasury, as he taught in the temple. And no one arrested him because his appointed time had not yet come. Later on, Yeshua told them again, "I am going away, and you will try to find me, but you will die in your sins. You can't go where I am going." The Jews asked, "Is he about to kill himself, since he says, 'You can't go where I am going'?" He told them, "You are of temporal succession. I existed before time. You are part of the universe. I am not part of the universe. That's why I told you you will die in your sins, because if you don't believe that I am, you will die in your sins." The Jews asked him, "Who are you?" Yeshua replied, "What have I been telling you all along? I still have a lot to say about you and a lot to condemn. The one who sent me is reliable. But these are the things that I have heard from him and declared to the world." They still didn't realize that he was telling them about the Father. Yeshua told them again, "When you have lifted up the human Son, then you will know that I am, and that I do nothing by my own initiative. I only say what the Father taught me. The one who sent me is with me. My Father hasn't left me alone, because I always do what pleases him." While he was saying these things, many believed in him. Yeshua told the Jews who believed in him, "If you continue to live by my teachings, you will truly be my disciples. You'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free." They told him, "We are descendants of Abraham and have never been enslaved to anyone. So how can you say you will be set free?" Yeshua replied, "I am absolutely certain that whoever commits sin is a slave to sin. A servant doesn't have a permanent place in the family, but a son belongs in the family forever. So if the Son sets you free, you'll really be free. I know that you are Abraham's descendants, but you want to kill me because you don't agree with what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I've seen with my father, and you do what you've seen with your father." They told him, "Abraham is our father." Yeshua told them, "If you were descendants of Abraham, you would do things Abraham did. But now you want to kill me for telling you the truth that I've heard from Jehovah. Abraham wouldn't have done things like that, but you do the works your father did." They told him, "We aren't the offspring of a prostitute. We have one Father, Jehovah." Yeshua told them, "If Jehovah were your father, you would love me because I descended from the presence of Jehovah. I did not arrive here by my own initiative, but he sent me. Why don't you understand me? Is it because you can't hear what I say? You are from your father the devil, and you are bent on acting on your father's cravings. He was a murderer from the beginning and didn't take a stand for the truth because there is no truth in him. And when he tells a lie, he's just being himself because he is the father of lies. But because I am telling the truth, you don't believe me. Which of you can prove me guilty of sin? Yet I am telling the truth. Why don't you believe me?" The people who belong to Jehovah hear what Jehovah says. You're not listening because you don't belong to Jehovah. The Jews replied, "Aren't we right in saying that you are a demon-possessed Samaritan?" Yeshua answered, "I am not demon-possessed. I honor my Father, and you condemn me. I'm not pursuing my own praise, but there is one pursuing it for me. His opinion counts. I tell you with absolute certainty that anyone who carefully preserves my instructions won't experience death forever." The Jews told him, "Now we know that you are demon-possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Yet you say, anyone who carefully preserves my instructions won't experience death forever. Are you greater than our ancestor Abraham, who died, or the prophets who died? Who are you claiming to be?" Yeshua told them, "If I praise myself, my praise is nothing. My Father praises me. The one you're claiming is your Eloah. You don't know him, but I know him. If I were to say that I didn't know him, I would be a liar like all of you. But I know him, and I obey his words. Your ancestor Abraham wanted to see my day, and he saw it, and was jubilant." The Jews told him, "You aren't even 50 years old, yet you claim to have seen Abraham." Yeshua told them, "I tell you with absolute certainty that before Abraham existed, I am." At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Yeshua concealed himself and left the temple, walking right among them as he left.